Hello, 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 hello. Hope everybody's okay on this beautiful, beautiful fall evening right here in November. It's going to be Thanksgiving before we know it. Well, I think I got the old mixer about tweaked out like I want it and the effects. Let's pick a little bit here. I know that I know that I know that I know. Yes, I know. Well, I'm happy about this setup. I don't know how it sounds out there to you guys, but sitting here in the office, sitting in front of these junky but loud speakers, JBL, it sounds pretty good to me. I had found and got back to the guitar sound. You know, I told Linda the other day, singing is just not my thing. I'm not a singer. I help her a little bit, but I'm not a good singer. I'm not saying I'm a good guitar picker, but guitar is kind of my thing, and play it. And back in several years ago, before the digital thing was coming along, we had the analog had the rack full of effects processors with lexicon, delays, and MIDI-verb, Alesis MIDI-verb digital processors and limiters and all this stuff that we carried 3 or 4 racks of equipment to get that sound. And I've gone through about 3 or 4 mixers, and that is lexicon right there. It's what I used for years. I used it in studio some. In fact, I still have 2 of the MIDI-verb 2 effects processors here now that I use now. But I was able to find this again in this Soundcraft mixer, the digital mixer part of it. And this is a large hall with delay. Let me play wasn't for the lighthouse, where would this ship be? Ronnie Henson just celebrated 50 years last week of the lighthouse. He turned 65 years old. 65 years old, that means that, let's see, 75 years old. He turned, I guess he wishes 65, I do. But that was 50 years ago. He was 25 years old, a very young man when he wrote The Lighthouse, and that's definitely a household standard in gospel music now. If it wasn't for the lighthouse, where would this ship be? City. Well, I got it on the old third pickup telly there. Let's go with the old medley gospels thing. Good old Rusty Goodman song, Who Am I That a King Would Bleed and Die for Me. Let me check the old Facebook page there and see if we getting out on the Facebook Live page. Yep, looks, I see a red shirt there. I guess so. I guess we are. Got a few folks watching there, a few comments. And, hello, Pastor Ricky. Hey, we sure enjoyed being down with you guys the other day. We went to Chile Baptist Church Sunday before last. I'm kidding you, Pastor. Pleasant Hill Baptist Church. They must have had 6 pots of chili at church. It was a chili Sunday, chili day down in the country. We had a good 5th Sunday singing. Folks seemed to really enjoy it. Then we went back in the fellowship hall. And man, they broke out the crock pots. My Lord, I never saw so much chili in all my life. And it was good, too. It was good. But Ricky, we enjoyed that, Pastor. Thanks again for letting us come down. And as you jumped here tonight. There's old Papa Joe. How you doing, bud? And Linda Beatonbow is watching. I thought she was taking a nap. Anyway. What you say, Pastor James Richter? One of my favorite pastors right there. Brother James Richter down in Columbus, Georgia. Well, he pastors in Columbus. He actually lives in the Big A. He lives over in the big city where all the traffic's at, but pastors in Columbus, Georgia. Known Brother Richter, the church that he pastored for so many years in Atlanta, Georgia, was a church called Evangel Temple. They, later on in years, as I was grown and married, and doing other things in music, they were in just out of Morrow, Georgia. I believe it's Morrow that they're in. Linda and I bought our first house in 1969 in Morrow, Georgia, right where South Lake Mall is now, up from it. But Evangel Temple was at 788 McDonough Boulevard. I'm 74 years old, and I still remember that, Brother James. 788 McDonough Boulevard. They were about 3 blocks down from the federal penitentiary, where Boulevard in Atlanta comes from I-20, runs down by Grant Park, right down the hills. It's a hilly road there. It comes right up to the top of the hill and dead ends Boulevard, dead ends into the federal penitentiary. If you know anything about Atlanta, that was stomping grounds for me from when I was a kid. We lived in the Grant Park area. We've been all around that area when I was little, and you turn left on McDonough Boulevard and go down, and brother and sister Largen, I cannot remember what Brother Largen's name was, but Sister Maud Largen, they were pastors there when I was growing up. It's one of the first places that I ever played gospel music was at Evangel Temple in Atlanta, Georgia. Boy, we're talking 61, 62, somewhere along in the probably 1961, maybe even 1960. And so, but then come along to know Brother Richter after years of that. We've known him for a long time. Him and Sister Janelle, great people. Anyway, well, what can I pick here? Let's see. Pick a couple more songs. We played our last service of the year, I guess was at Brother Ricky's church down in Roanoke, Alabama. And we had a couple things that were pending, but they actually didn't come through. In fact, Thanksgiving on the 25th or 26th, that weekend, we're going to be down and spend some family time with the kids down at Myrtle Beach. And Thanksgiving at Myrtle Beach, I don't see anything wrong with that. And I'm going to be in the bus. They got a huge campground down there, and we're going to be close to the beach there in the motorhome. And we'll have to be, it's crowded with 4 adults and 2 dogs, and all of us crammed in a little 4-room beach house. It's little and it's beautiful, but it is little. And so I have my place if I want to go rest and snooze and take a nap or something and get out of everybody's way. But anyway, I'll be down in the bus, and all my equipment and gear, PA system and everything will be loaded in the bus out of the office here. And if at the last minute if somebody coming back up through the Augusta area. Every pastor that I contacted in Augusta, they're either going to be out of town or got something going on or whatever. It hasn't worked out. That's okay if it don't. I want to be where God opens the door. He opens the doors. He closes the door, and I want to be where He wants me to be. If it's at home in a recliner, but that's the only Sunday that we might be doing anything at the last minute. I don't have anything planned for December. Maybe a Christmas service or something. Somebody had talked to Linda the other day about doing a Christmas party, and I assumed they might want me to come pick a few Christmas songs. Who knows? But as far as I know, our season of traveling has ended this year. Other than going to Myrtle Beach, the bus will be parked until over in late January. And we have a couple places that we go about every year and have for 15 or 16 years. And so we look forward to that. Play an old hymn book song for you. 3, 4. walks with me and talks with me and tells me I am his own. I got something on Facebook. He sent out to everybody on his page. James Richter the other day put something on Facebook. It said, if you want to be a good musician, He said, I can tell you how to be a good musician. Stay tuned. One of the first songs I learned to play it, and my fingers are small. Pilgrim and a stranger. I think I played the Strat last Tuesday when I was on here. But this has been my go-to guitar for over a year now. This old Telly, Nashville Telly. I was watching videos last night on something, and one of the Statler Brothers boys, guy plays one of these, and I had seen it several times and heard him play it, and it had such a good sound. I saw it and I really wanted one, and I had another Telecaster that was a blue one. It was a 1998 American Telly. It was a Lake Placid blue, a beautiful, great playing guitar. And I talked to this guy about routing the hole out in the middle and putting an additional pickup, and he said I wouldn't tear into that guitar. He said I'd leave that guitar like it is. He said I would just buy one. And so I did. I saw this one on eBay. It was used, and it was set up real well. It played real good, and I took it to a little guy over at Guitar Center, Marietta. It's real sensitive. He's a great guitar tech, and he kind of fine-tuned it, and you just touch it. It plays like butter. And so this has kind of been the go-to guitar that I play everywhere I go. Played a song last week, and haven't made any new tracks for songs except this one, and I got to do that. I just need to get busy. I'm short of breath here now, just sitting here picking. But we were out today with the brother and the sister-in-law and the sister and Linda, myself, the five of us. There is so many places here around Center, Alabama that we live that it's unreal. And I've seen a lot of them and didn't pay any attention to a lot of things. But within a 10-mile, actually a 20-mile radius here, there is more things to see. You could come to Center, Alabama, where we live over on the lake now. You could come over and spend a week's vacation and find something different to do every day. A few months back, we went over, if you go back out of Center, for you that live in Georgia or this area, North Georgia and North Alabama, I know the area. You could go back toward Rome, Georgia, hit 35 toward Fort Payne, and you go across the Little River Canyon out there. It is a beautiful waterfall, and got a path and a trail that goes all down through it. And the waterfall depends on how much rain we've had the last few days. We were over there a few months ago, and boy, it was really going. If you go over here to Gadsden, Alabama, 22 miles from here, and the edge of Gadsden is only 20 miles, you can turn in, and there's a gorgeous park called Nakalula Falls. They have a great campground in there, and it's a hiking trail. I don't do a lot of hiking these days. My legs won't allow me to do that, and the feet. But it's just a beautiful place to visit. We've camped in there with a motorhome. And yesterday, I guess it was yesterday, maybe, might have been Sunday. Sunday, I guess it was. They came over, and we rode over here just about 6 or 7 miles from home, and there was somebody's furnace. I forget the name of it. It's a very historical, huge rock furnace that's built on the side of the lake over there, where they used to, in the 1800s, they built Civil War war instruments, tools in there. And who? Cornwall furnace. If you're over this way, you enjoy going by and see that. But today, we went, as the crow flies, it would be probably 7 or 8 miles from here if you just went straight across the air. But the Lookout Mountain, anybody that's been to Chattanooga knows anything about Chattanooga, Tennessee. Lookout Mountain stretches all the way across Alabama, North Alabama, and it starts over around Gadsden. Well, the scenery, the road from here to Gadsden, the 4-lane, it's just a beautiful drive because you're going right by Lookout Mountain. And we went over on Lookout Mountain today, the edge of it, and you go right over here to Leesburg, Alabama, which is 5 miles from center, turn, go up the mountain, turn and go up another mountain, and then you constantly go up into a higher mountain. You go to about 1,900 feet, almost 2,000 feet elevation over on top of the mountain, and it's a Cherokee Rock Village, and they're huge rocks. I don't know, and canyons and all that stuff, and you can stand there and look over and see Highway 411 that we go by all the time going to Gadsden. And we've looked at that mountain many times, the first time we've been on top of it. But there's just so much beauty in this part of the country over here. It's so laid back, there's not a lot of traffic. I told somebody the other day, I said, Alabama and Georgia are about the same size in land mass, but Georgia has 10 million people. Alabama, the whole state, only has 5 million people. And so there's a whole lot less traffic. It's more rural. It's laid-back country. We got cotton fields on every corner out here. It's just a beautiful place to be. I told someone, if I had known what I know now, I would have probably moved over here 10 or 15 years ago. And when we were traveling more and had the studio running and all that stuff. But it's really been enjoyable living over here. I wouldn't want to move back where I was at over in a lot of good folks in Paulding County, but we was over Sunday or Saturday for church over there, and my Lord, the traffic, you can see cars forever. Get over here in the country, it's a whole different thing. But anyway, I hope to see some of you. I hope you have a good Thanksgiving coming up. God bless you. Be thankful Thanksgiving. Be thankful today. Be thankful tomorrow and every day. Be thankful for how God has blessed us. And Shinbone Ridge is where we went today. Linda's in her jammies over there with her. She's got a whiteboard. If she gets up in the mornings, she usually gets up before I do. Sometimes I'll watch a repeat of Hannity or something at 12 or 1 o'clock at night. Or I've been watching repeats of Leave It to Beaver and The Honeymooners at 12 or 1 o'clock at night when I can't go to sleep. And so she always gets up earlier than I do. I'm not talking in the camera. She gets up earlier than I do, take off something, and I'll come in the office about half asleep, and her whiteboard is there on a chair. She's telling me, I love you, I've gone so-and-so, where she's gone. And so she just came by in her pajamas with her whiteboard and told me we went to Shinbone Ridge today. Anyway, well, have a good Thanksgiving. I don't know, I may be back next Tuesday. We're leaving, she's got some things to do in the morning tomorrow, Thursday morning early. Fresh Fire Conference with Regeneration Nashville pastors Kent and Candy Christmas start tomorrow night. We're not going to make tomorrow night service. We're going to see it online. And then we've already made hotel reservations and everything. We're leaving early and driving straight to the morning service on Thursday, and then be there Thursday morning, Thursday night, Friday morning, Friday night, Saturday morning, and Saturday afternoon for about 5 or 6 services of that. And we were in service with Kent and Candy, Pastor Kent and Candy a few weeks ago. And Candy, you know, I've known her since she was a little girl, since she's about 14 years old. And she said, let me pray for you and Linda before y'all go. So she said, I love you folks, and I will pray for you. She did, and boy. And she looked at me, she said, I want you to come to our conference in November. And I said, well, I had already given that consideration. She said, well, I want y'all to be there. She said, just come, join us, and we're going to do that. So it'll be good. So we're going to be in the house of the Lord for the rest of this week. We won't be playing or anything. We'll just be sitting and taking it in. And then we'll come back and just hang out around home. And next week, Thanksgiving, and before you know it, Linda said, why don't you do a Christmas song tonight? I said, well, it ain't Christmas yet. You know me. Don't get no Christmas stuff out till Thanksgiving's over. Let's have Thanksgiving. And I'm going to play a Thanksgiving song that I played last week on the other guitar. Sorry if I play a song twice in 2 weeks. But I really like this. This is a song we can be thankful that all of the things that come our way, and we don't never, there's an old song that I play, I Know Who Holds Tomorrow. I've played it for years. And it's a great old song, but this song here goes back to probably 1972 or 73. Through everything that we've gone through with tragedies in our family that you wouldn't believe, involving gun violence. We've gone through hard times, that financial things that we had to really trust God for. Not for, you know, it's great being old and not having a lot of obligations, and you can live from month to month and year to year, but well, we've seen some times that we had to live not from week to week, but we had to live from day to day in ministry. And my Lord, the last 62 years now, 30 years in the music and playing music, but when the Lord called me to preach in 1990, and since 91, this year, 2001, was 30 years that Linda and I have been traveling full-time in White Harvest Ministries and evangelistic and music. And we've seen some rough and tough times. But man, we've seen some great times. God has been faithful. And the old song says, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. I trust them both. I've learned to, through everything and through it all, I've learned to trust in God's Word. Let this song, I'm going to play it for you again tonight on a different guitar. And I hope you'll enjoy this. Do it all. Do it all. Well, learn to trust Him if you hadn't already. It took me a lot of years to trust Him more today than I ever had. I've always trusted Him, but the older you get, the more you have to trust the Lord. Anyway, God bless you, and maybe we'll see you next week or so. Have a good night. Rest well. And see you soon.